Hi, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the Brave Project Spring Edition and everything you need to know for getting into the Canva and meeting in person. So to start off, we're going to go over important dates. We have all the in-person meeting dates listed here, as well as a little bit about them. And then we have when the modules are going to be due as a few dates a little later than the in-person meetings. That way you have some leeway to reflect on the in-person as well during your assignments. Um, then we have one big important date, which is April 25th. All the module assignments are due. This is after every in-person meeting and all the modules having been complete. And then we'll have the certificates around May 3rd. The next thing that we want to talk about a little bit is the objectives of the Brave Project, right? So how do we orient ourselves when we're doing this training? So we want to emphasize that it is an intensive and comprehensive training on sexual violence. And we want to keep in mind that the Brave Project is not here to offer solutions, but we do expect that in this course, you engage in changing your worldview, or you engage in questioning some of the things that you've experienced before or been taught before. And that brings us to our next point, in which we invite you to reflect on complex issues throughout the program. And we want that to be a space in which you are able to define and redefine terms, get more comfortable with procedures, and maybe find your own relationship to the next steps as well. And then lastly, we have a couple definitions that we use throughout the program. So SGBV is sex and gender-based violence. The reason for using this terminology is that we want to highlight that women are not the only folks affected by violence, and we want to acknowledge that there's more than one type of violence. It kind of shifts the focus away from the survivor having all of the responsibility of this, and it highlights the responsibility of violence itself. And we talk a little bit more about that in the program too. And then our second definition is survivor/victim blaming. The reason we worded it like this was because we wanted to emphasize that rather than using the terminology of victim, we want to use the terminology of survivor, because we believe survivors are resilient and that language matters when we're discussing these things. We don't want to fall into the fallacy that folks who are harmed are passive, right? And so we want to make sure that we speak about it in a way that is empowering as well for survivors. And then lastly, this one is not as much of a definition, but kind of just our expectations for the procedures with this program. We are hoping that you folks stay up to date with the order of things in the modules and when they're due in order to achieve your certificate, but most importantly, in order to take away something from the module that you can hold with you or something that you've learned as well. But that is all that I have for today. I have a couple other videos and guides on Canvas to show you how to maneuver around and what you need to do. And everything is linked in the welcome section for you. So you'll find this video there as well. Thank you. Bye.